Welcome back to the channel, guys. I'm Sheldon, and this is another episode of Behind the Enthusiast. Today we are at Welland County Speedway for another day of flat track racing. A sponsor, Ironhold, for this season, and it's a little bit hot, but we do have a nice cool breeze, which is really nice. So it shouldn't be too bad. Now the track, I'm gonna go check that out in just a second, see what it looks like. The bike has already been through tech inspection. I already had my Subway sandwich, half of it anyway. Skies are clear and it looks like it is gonna be a great day of racing, so let's get into it. Alright, so today's track, they did just recently water it. I don't know what they've been doing all week. I haven't talked to anybody about it today, unfortunately. But looks alright to me. Probably could use just a little bit more water, because the sun is definitely out in full force. So might need a little bit more water, but we won't know until practice starts, so I'm gonna be waiting a little bit. Well, we borrowed a grinder from someone else. My pit buddy, Adrian, his dad, loaned us his grinder, so we're gonna hope that doing the more aggressive technique yields even more grip for tonight's races. And that concludes tonight's races. Well, guys, what did you think of the races this weekend? Unfortunately, things are a little bit different. I kind of had a DNF at the end of the night, which I will get to in just a minute. But it's the morning after. I'm a little bit stuffed up from all the dirt from the races last night, but gonna go through everything for you guys as usual. So practice went pretty well. Unfortunately, there was a crash. It involved 3 people. So Tyson ended up going home early because of that crash. I think he went down first. So you guys should see that in the footage. Unfortunately, he had to go home. So Tyson, shout out to you, man. Hopefully, you're doing well. Hopefully, you'll recover quickly. I'm in the same boat. We're in the crash club tonight. So this weekend. So Adrian went down as well. So did Christy. As far as I know, both of them are doing well from that incident. And then moving into the heats. The heats went really well. My buddy Andrew ended up borrowing the grinder from Adrian's dad. So shout out to you guys again for helping me out. Grooved the tire really well. Bike was hooking up perfectly all night long. It was probably perfect. So it was going really, really well. The pace, I was keeping up with everybody all throughout the night. I think Adrian had an incident in the heats. Someone ran over his foot, unfortunately. So he's kind of a bit of a hurting unit as well this weekend. So that's unfortunate. But, I guess that's kind of the risk that you take when you go out onto the racetrack. Again, I'm getting to it. Don't worry. And before the mains, I ended up talking to my buddy Steve, and I also met a fan of the channel, I guess, Dan. Shout out to you, buddy. Thanks for watching. And he races in the vet class. I actually saw him racing in the main, and he had a bit of a moment. He made a mistake, but he ended up recovering for third. So again, congrats. That was a really good night for you. So I'm happy that you were able to take some advice from me and enjoy the channel as well. So hopefully I will get some more footage of you racing. That will obviously be something to look forward to. It's anytime that I'm not racing, guys, anything that doesn't conflict with my races, like anything that's immediately before or immediately after, I do try to get as much footage for you guys as possible, because I know a lot of you who are my friends or even just acquaintances at the racetrack, you always, give me a wave or whatever. The camaraderie and everything is awesome between everyone. So I try to get as much footage for you guys to enjoy as well, because I know that the races don't get recorded anymore. So I try to give you guys the opportunity to see how you guys are racing and progressing. And in the case that there is a crash, unfortunately, I will show you guys that as well. But everything was going really well. So fans of the channel, buddies helped me out and everything, really, really good night. The first race, the first main, DTX Novice, the bike was exactly what I wanted it to be. Everything was working really, really well. Turns 3 and 4, the bike was on rails. 1 and 2, I guess it was a little bit slippery. Some people were complaining about that as well. But the track was really, really tacky, so I'm not entirely sure, why it was slippery in 1 and 2. But did really well. Someone bobbled, and I ended up getting second last in that first race. And Steve, I almost got you. Give me one more lap and I'll get you. So that was a really nice race, really competitive, just
buddies going out and trying to better one another. So that was a really fun race. And now we get to this. So unfortunately, in the last race, I think we had 3 laps to go or 2 laps to go, and I noticed that the guy in front of me was sliding a little bit through 1 and 2, and yeah, I mean, it was a little bit slippery, but it wasn't, really bad. And I came around coming into turn 1, and for some reason, it was like somebody just like grabbed my rear wheel and just yanked it out from underneath me. I have no idea what caused that. Andrew and I went back out onto the track afterward to try to kind of piece things together and also find the piece of rubber that came off the bike. So that flew off. I did find it, which was nice. So hopefully I'll be able to put that back on when I'm feeling a little bit better. But I don't know what caused it, but clearly there was a slippery spot there. It could have been oil, could have been anything, I don't know. But I went down, got up, went off the track because everyone was coming around the corner, so I was, oh crap. So I got off the racetrack, they red flagged it. We did a single file staggered restart, which I guess it was kind of an advantage for me because it allowed me to reel everybody back in for the restart, and there was only going to be 2 more laps, I believe. And so it actually put me in a really good position. However, my hand, all in through here, that whole muscle, it felt like the skin had been torn off. And so I don't know if it was Shelly or Sarah who came over to line me up, but I asked her, like, just one second, I had to like squish my hand into my thigh because I thought the skin had been peeled off, so I'm trying to just compress it as much as possible just so that I could finish the race. And so I said, okay, fine. I gave her the thumbs up. Can't do it with this hand. Give her the thumbs up. I was like, all right, let's go. And we had just 2 laps. 2 laps to go. You think I could just take it home and just cruise, but no, adrenaline was going, and I really, really wanted to pass someone again. And so, again, went through turns, 1 and 2, no problem. 3 and 4, no problem. It came around, I think it was the last lap. And for some reason, exact same thing happened. The rear wheel just get pulled out from underneath me in between 1 and 2, that transition point. And I go down again, and I was so frustrated. I ended up jumping over the wall and off the racetrack because I didn't know who was coming around the corner. I was a little bit disoriented at that point, frustrated. A lot of emotions going through my mind at that point. So went back on the racetrack, turned off the fuel on the bike because there was just piss and gas everywhere. And it was actually still running, oddly enough. It wanted to finish the race, but I ended up getting a DNF. I think I still get points, but at this point, I don't think it matters too much. However, I was doing really well in the open class, so that doesn't feel too good if I don't get any points. But at this point, it is what it is. It was a great night up until that point, and then I crashed pretty much 2 times in a row. It was not a good feeling. I'm super, super sore. My hand, you guys won't be able to see, but there's a lot of discoloration in through here and on this palm. There's also a little bit of discoloration here as well on my left. This portion was really, really swollen. My wrist, there's like a shooting pain up and through here every so often, depending on what I'm doing. So I've wrapped it up for the time being just to immobilize it so I don't make it any worse and agitate it. So it's probably sprained. So I put ice on it, and then what you guys can't see is my lower extremities, which are pretty banged up as well. My big toes, I don't know, it got mashed inside my boot when I went down. My Moose Racing shorts, which are supposed to have like built-in pads or whatever. Fortunately they did their job. Unfortunately, though, I think because I crashed the second time, they were moved out of place a little bit from that wipeout. And so I have a huge imprint down my backside from one of the protective pads, and my tailbone is pretty sore. And yes, both of my ass cheeks are sore as well. So that's not fun because it's really difficult to sit, lay down, everything is just sore. My back is sore. I think my shoulder got a knock to it as well. But I don't think I hit my head, which is obviously a great thing because everything else is pretty minor compared to, you know, getting a concussion. Those are pretty serious. But I know some of you guys were wondering how I was doing, so that's just kind of an update. So again, that was probably the best night that I've had all season, and also the worst, crashing twice in a row at the very end of the night with a DNF. But to everyone who had a great night, congratulations. To anyone who crashed, speedy recovery to you guys. Adrian, good luck next week at Trois Rivières in Quebec. That is where we're going to be racing. I will not be racing that one, so next week there will not be a race vlog. I'm not too sure what I'll be doing other than recovering. So good luck to everybody else who's going out as well. Thanks for everybody watching the videos, and those of you who are fans who are racing at the track at Welland County Speedway, thank you so much for supporting me and watching the channel. Really appreciate it. And I will get better eventually, so it's not too bad. But yeah, it is what it is. I know this is probably a little bit of a lengthy post-race chat, you know, compared to usual, but I wasn't able to get as much footage either, so I figured I'd give you kind of the inside scoop, which I normally try to do. So that is it for me. I'm going to go and rest up. So if you guys like this video, make sure to smash that like button so I know that it's working. If you guys have any comments or questions, any requests for footage, again, anything prior to my race and just after my race, I don't always get footage of it, but if you guys are 2 to 3 races before or after, let me know and I will try my best to get some footage for you guys. You know, don't hesitate to ask. So, and as usual, be sure to subscribe so you guys don't miss out on future content on the channel, and I will catch you guys in the next one.